Hey guys, and welcome to my first YouTube video. My name's Natalie, people call me Nat, and I am a prosthetist, which you might have guessed from the title of this video, but if not, let's clear that up straight away. So I'm a prosthetist working in London. So you might have clicked on this video because you are interested in the profession, or because you are an amputee, or because you managed to get here through a YouTube click through. Whatever reason has brought you here, welcome. So I thought I'd kick things off nice and easy with a simple one for me, which is what is a prosthetist. In very basic terms, a prosthetist is a prosthetic limb fitter. Going to be totally honest, I really don't like the term limb fitter. It's much more than that. In more advanced terms, I am a biomedical engineer. So me and my colleagues use scientific principles to help people walk again. Or that's what we like to tell ourselves. Really, it's a whole combination of lots of different things. I am a lower limb prosthetist, which means that I work with people who have had amputations from here downwards. So that's everything from through the foot, ankle, below the knee, through the knee, above the knee, through the hip, above the hip, everything. That's me. Usually not on the same day. Sometimes it can actually be on the same day, and that's quite a stressful day for me, but not normally all at once. The main aim of my job is to enable people to walk again. I work in a fantastic team of doctors and physios where we all have our different roles to play, but my role is that I make the prosthetic limb to aid rehabilitation and get people walking so that they can get back to normal life. It's a little bit more complicated than people might think. We don't just have a catalogue where we just order something, fit it to somebody, and off they go. Everything we make is custom made, so there are a fair few steps to how we get from somebody coming to see us for the first time and enabling them to walk out of the door. There are many different reasons that someone would come to visit us for a prosthetic limb following an amputation. The main reason that people think of is trauma, so our veterans who might be involved in bomb blasts, but more often than not we might see people who are involved in car accidents, motorcycle accidents, general trauma which will result in them having surgery to have a amputation. Normally it's life-saving surgery, but quite traumatic as an incident. There are other reasons, and those are linked with medical conditions. So a large majority of people that we see have amputations due to vascular deficiency. Basically that means that they have impaired blood flow to their feet and their legs, which causes the tissue in those areas to slowly die, and an amputation is done as life-saving surgery. Other options for amputation do include things such as infection. If somebody has an infection which is going to cause problems to other areas of the body, then again the limb is amputated to save their life. Amputee is quite a challenging word in some cases because not every person that comes to visit us in prosthetics has had amputation surgery. Some people are born with congenital deformities, which means that they're born with their foot or their limb formed in a slightly different way and they require a prosthetic limb to ambulate. These cases are a little bit more challenging because it's not the standard shape that we would get after surgery. However, we do our absolute best to accommodate absolutely anything that comes to us. One of the things I love most about my job is enabling people to achieve goals. In the beginning, the main goal is just for people to get up, be able to stand, walk to the bathroom around their house or their flat, and then maybe go to a short walk to the shops. For some people, that's all that they ever want to achieve, but obviously amputations occur at all ages, and so there are some people who want to push the boundaries a little bit more. I am talking that I have had people who are aiming to be Paralympians, or I have seen people who want to run marathons in the desert. Some things that I would never ever be able to do, but it's lovely to be able to help people achieve these goals. I can admit that it's not always easy. Sometimes the process from the idea and through to the result is a little bit challenging, but the nice thing is that we work together as a team to try and achieve something together. Prosthetics is a really interesting relationship with a patient. When you go to your GP, you might maybe spend 10 minutes. I can't even remember my GP's name, and I'm not normally in and out of there very quickly. In prosthetics, we spend a lot of time with patients. We can spend half days, lots and lots of hours, not only spending time with them to do the adjustments to their limb, but we find out a lot about their lives. So people who are getting married, having kids, doing exams, passing driving tests. It's a really lovely relationship, and we need to have that relationship and that trust to be able to do our jobs well. Going back to the idea of a catalogue of limbs, so I'm not going to lie, we do have catalogues which contain parts. So we have catalogues which contain prosthetic feet, prosthetic knees, tubes, adapters, everything to actually build the limb, and most of that is you order it based on someone's foot size, their activity level, their weight, and then that is sent through to us and we build the limb from there. The bit that is custom is what we call a socket, which is the bit that goes around the leg and is attached directly to the person. Well, not attached to their bone, but their leg goes inside the socket, the container, and that's the way that they control the prosthetic limb. Those are all made custom. We do a cast, which we then fill to make a 3D model, do adjustments to the 3D model, and then create a socket over that 3D model. I can honestly say that the socket is the most important part of a prosthetic limb. No matter what is underneath the socket, if it's a 1,000-pound foot, but the socket is not right, you're not going to get anywhere with it. So socket comfort is absolutely huge. The main part of my job sounds as though it's making sockets, but people come to me for appointments for lots of different reasons. Adjustments are made as people change. There is a constant change with amputees if they change weight or if they start doing different activities, and they require adjustments to the limb to make things more comfortable or easier for them. In the first few years after amputation, people come to us fairly regularly as those changes happen quite rapidly. Then people might not come to us for a very long time, and then 7 years later, woof, something might change and we have to go and restart the whole process again. Seeing a prosthetist is a lifelong requirement for any amputee, and so sometimes you can see people all the way through from when they're children right the way up to when they're adults and are all grown up. I can say that I don't work with children and I don't work with above limb amputees. Like I say, I only work with lower limb amputees, but I do see people progress through lots of different life stages, which is really lovely. I can honestly say that I love my job. It's one of the most rewarding jobs in the world. Sometimes it drives me a little bit crazy. I'm not saying that every day is peachy, but overall, there's nothing else that I would rather do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, subscribe, comment with any questions you may have or any topics that you would like to hear about, and hopefully I will see you again soon.